Fire critiques continue. The former Prime Minister blasting the Davis administration for its handling of recent fires across multiple islands. Tonight, while the former PM pushes government to move, the Coalition of Independents table a bill in Parliament to give fire services some independence. Plus,
tonight on our news, a sitting member of Parliament making the surprising prediction that he will become the next Prime Minister of the Bahamas in 5 years. To find out who, stay tuned to our news tonight.
A 56-year-old man is sentenced to 2 years behind bars for indecently assaulting his teenage stepdaughters. But his lawyers say the fight isn't over. We'll tell you her plans for an appeal. Then in our news at 7:30, Grand Bahama set for a major economic boost with both the Grand Lucayan Sail and Carnival's exciting new project. Tonight, Italia Hall kicks off a special series from her hometown, starting with Carnival's top execs and their long-term vision for the island. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Philip Davis leading debate on a sweeping set of financial bills. It's a move that the Prime Minister says underscores his government's commitment to strengthening the financial services sector and keeping the Bahamas in step with international standards. The 9-bill compendium also keeps the country compliant with the Financial Action Task Force's 40 recommendations. It's a global framework designed to help countries fight money laundering and terrorist financing. Prime Minister Davis told Parliament the bills aim to boost transparency, accountability, and the country's anti-money laundering laws. Now, a key piece of the package is the Register of Beneficial Ownership Amendment Bill 2025, which will establish a public registry to identify the real people behind companies or trusts, ultimately making it harder for bad actors to hide behind shell companies.
The bill shines a light on nominee arrangements, where someone holds shares on behalf of someone else, bringing them under full transparency requirements by ensuring that the person on whose behalf the nominee acts is treated as a beneficial owner.
The opposition supported the amendments, and the bill was seconded by Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Aviation and Investments Chester Cooper. He says the bills put the Bahamas in a position to handle future scrutiny from the FATF. The Deputy Prime Minister also touted the Bahamas' recent success in getting off several international blacklists thanks to stronger compliance measures, even amid what he called an unfair global playing field.
We will continue to hold our own. We will continue to pivot where necessary. We will continue to win, and we will continue to succeed and thrive in niches where we have comparative advantages. And we will continue to use the ecosystem that we have built in financial services to enhance the growth that we are seeing in other sectors. Indeed, what is good for financial services is good for foreign direct investments.
All right, meanwhile, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis blasting the Davis administration for its response to recent fires. Bethany McDermott tells us as he made that push, the Coalition of Independents also tabling a new bill to help.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is hitting out at the Davis administration over the inefficiency of the fire department after multiple fires across the country ravaged the islands. Just this week, the communications director in the office of the Prime Minister said the government is securing 15 to 25 fire trucks for the country. But the former Prime Minister said the government's reactionary response isn't enough.
The national assessment is needed as to the full needs of our fire services across the country. How many new fire trucks do we need in total for the whole country? Do we have enough trained firefighters? Are fire services on Family Island populated with the necessary number of trained people? These are questions.
A major blaze at the heart of downtown Nassau destroyed 2 buildings on Bay Street and the Victoria Court apartment complex. Fires also ravaged miles of forest on Abaco and more recently part of a duplex in Murphytown, Abaco this weekend. But the devastation didn't end there. Fires also ravaged Grand Bahama, damaging a home. Islands like the Berry Islands and Eleuthera also fought fires there too. As we head into the hot summer months, the former Prime Minister questioned the handling of severe fires.
We need to ensure that our fire services can handle the worst case scenario on each of our main inhabited islands.
Dr. Minnis says the system has been in place for decades, suggesting it needs to be upgraded. Recently, the Free National Movement pledged to commit funds to getting more resources for the fire department should they become the next government. Former National Security Minister Marvin Dames said the fire department needs to be a separate entity from the Royal Bahamas Police Force. In Parliament today, Central Grand Bahama MP and COI MP Iram Lewis tabled a bill to do just that. The bill was seconded by Southern Shores and PLP MP Leroy Major.
It is with immense pleasure that I stand to lay for the first time the Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Service Bill 2025, a bill for an act to establish the Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Service to provide for the separation of fire services from the Royal Bahamas Police Force and for connected matters.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks for that, Berthany. Chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, Fred Mitchell, firing back at former National Security Minister Marvin Dames, who's once again calling for fire services to break away from the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Dames, who once held direct oversight of the Fire Services Department, says the unit continues to struggle with manpower and equipment while being overshadowed by the broader policing mandate. Dames argues that as long as crime dominates the agenda, fire emergencies won't get the attention or the funding they need. His remarks have drawn sharp criticism from Mitchell, who says when Dames had the authority to fix it, he dropped the ball.
Former Minister of National Security Marvin Dames, who spent multi-millions on drones that, well, we don't know what kind of value he got for those drones, who presided over the fire department as the minister, didn't buy the fire engines he's now calling for, who didn't create the separate fire department that he's now calling for.
Now, the former National Security Minister's arguments have been prompted by a series of devastating fires across the country, but Mitchell says the former minister is attempting to rewrite history and shift blame, even though he had years to implement reforms.
Where was he when all of this was going on as minister? And now he's got all the answers. As they would say in the schoolyard, "Boy, go sit down. And while you're sitting, explain to us where the money went on the drones."
All right, now to North Eleuthera, where the area MP proclaiming his confidence that he'll be the next Prime Minister come 2031. Joshua Williams has this.
I'm going to take a break, 5 years, and when I come back, I'm coming back to be the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Mark my words. Take my words on that.
A shocking prediction made by North Eleuthera Member of Parliament Sylvanus Petty just weeks after he announced he would not seek nomination for the North Eleuthera seat in the next general election. Petty is relatively new to politics. He's a first-time MP and also the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. He's also the former Water and Sewerage Corporation Chairman, where he served from 2021 until his resignation in 2023. Despite his decision to step away from frontline politics for a while, Petty believes he still has a lot to offer.
We have to move and progress. I think there's a lot of things that we have to do. And I mean, I will reveal everything in the next 5 years, trust me, but it's going to be something that the Bahamas, the whole Bahamas, can be proud of. I guarantee you that.
So is Petty forecasting defeat for the Progressive Liberal Party at the polls?
I don't think so. I mean, all indications point that the PLP will be back in power. So, yeah.
And while Petty is becoming Prime Minister, I asked him who would be nominated for his current seat in North Eleuthera.
Yeah, we have 4 persons on the ground right now. 4 persons we have on the ground right now. We have a branch meeting next week, Thursday. So we're going to meet with all the aspiring candidates for North Eleuthera. And then the branch will make a decision, and then we write to the Prime Minister to see who is best suited to take over for my position.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
A 56-year-old man has been handed a 2-year jail sentence for indecently assaulting his teenage stepdaughter. The man faced a maximum sentence of 3 years. The court accepted evidence the man touched the 15-year-old's private parts on 2 occasions in 2021. Prosecutors say the first incident happened while the teen was lying down in the parents' bedroom and the man put his hands in her pants. The second incident took place as the child left the bathroom. In passing the sentence, Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans told the man his actions were unacceptable. His lawyer, Linda Virgil, says they intend to appeal the decision. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendall, and a happy Wednesday evening, everybody. A very wet day around the northwest Bahamas, portions of the capital as well. But we are still settling down. The atmosphere is stabilizing. 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. The winds are out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 75. Temperatures right now around the islands. We have 82 in Freeport, 80 over in Alistown, Bimini, Marsh Harbour, Abaco, Greater Harbour Key 79, 78 in Nichols, San Andreas here in the capital 76. Governor's Harbour, you guys are 80. 80 also in Coburn Town, San Salvador, Black Point, Port Nelson. We pick up 79 in Kemps Bay, and you have some showers nearby there. Georgetown, 82, 81 in Deadman's Key, and in the southeast Bahamas, we pick up 81s, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, also in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Abrams Bay, Maguana, 80 degrees, 82 in Matthewtown, Inagua, and neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands, you are the warm spot actually at 84 degrees at this hour. Satellite radar composite, that frontal boundary that was meandering in our neck of the woods actually, just sliding south of the capital. We did get quite a bit of rainfall as well today. I got about an inch in my rain gauge. That combined with what we had yesterday was almost 3.5 inches. So very good rainfall needed, and that frontal boundary will continue to side towards the south. High pressure and a dry air mass will be building in across areas, so we're looking at some nice conditions, but it's going to get very warm. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, we're all thankful the FIBA World Cup draw and NBA lottery aren't run by the same people. We take a closer look at what the senior men's national team will face on the path to qualification.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Royalty graces the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show with Lady E.
I'm so happy to be here with you. You're one of my heroes. You're one of the people who I always watch on TV. I still remember the theme music from Electric Air. So, just being
all my money. You got all my money. All my money. I love her already. Catch the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show this Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee Show in the lot.
Phosphorescent. Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy Charlie Bahama.
New season of Groovin' is here.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. We've got a definitive look at the path for Team Bahamas as the road to Qatar gets underway this fall. In the Americas group, Team Bahamas is drawn into Group B alongside Canada, Puerto Rico, and the second-place team from the North American pre-qualifiers. The Bahamas has participated in every edition of the World Cup qualifiers since the start of the tournament in 2017. During the last qualifying cycle, the program advanced to the second round for the first time and finished with a 3-9 record overall. Two of the country's top basketball prospects will join forces in South Florida for the next stop on their college hoops journeys. Danica Lightbourne made her decision to close out her time in the transfer portal and decided to join the Florida International University Panthers in Conference USA. Lightbourne spent her first 2 seasons of college hoops with the Dayton Flyers. The Bahamas Football Association hosted the region's top official in the sport as a part of his organization's community outreach. CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani was in the Bahamas last week as a part of his regional outreach ahead of the upcoming FIFA Congress. Montagliani met with BFA President Anya James, General Secretary Fred Lunn, and the BFA Council to discuss strategic plans for football development, regional collaboration, and future hosting opportunities across the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean. Locally, anticipation continues to build for the Samuel P. Haven High School Nationals, and the top teams in the country prepare to take the pitch. The bragging rights and national title hopes are up for grabs, and schools throughout the country and in their respective divisions are already looking forward to hoisting the trophies. Looking back at the 2024 tournament, in senior girls play, the Life Key Dragons are the defending champs after they defeated the St. Andrews Hurricanes. In senior boys, Windsor School won the title in their tournament debut in thrilling fashion over Anatole Rogers on penalties. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as graphic testimony and disturbing images in day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial. R&B singer Cassie returns to the stand, recounting years of alleged abuse. Plus, 1 week on the job and Pope Leo XIV wasting no time reaching out to world leaders, pushing for ceasefires in global hotspots. And drive a Ford Expedition or Lincoln Navigator? Your brakes could be at risk. Ford is recalling nearly 274,000 SUVs after reports of faulty brake lines. The story when our news returns.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success. And together, we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. R&B singer Cassie back on the witness stand Wednesday, detailing more of what she called a decade of control, abuse, and humiliation at the hands of her ex-boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs. Combs has pleaded not guilty to 5 federal charges, including sex trafficking, transporting for prostitution, and racketeering conspiracy. On Tuesday, Cassie painted a disturbing picture of life with the hip-hop mogul, claiming he forced her into drug-fueled sex acts with strangers during so-called freak-offs and beat her relentlessly. Jurors saw graphic images pulled from videos Cassie turned over to investigators, visuals that were so sensitive they were only shown to the jury. Reactions in the courtroom ranged from shock to disgust as Cassie narrated what she says was her reality, even recalling a time that she told Combs, "You treat me like Ike," referring to the infamous abuse the late Tina Turner suffered from Ike Turner. And Kim Kardashian gave emotional testimony in a Paris courtroom Tuesday, recalling the terrifying 2016 robbery where she says she feared she'd be raped and killed. The reality star told the court she was tied up and at gunpoint by thieves posing as police officers and thrown on a bed where one grabbed her leg, leaving her fearing the worst. The robbers stole millions in jewelry, including her $4 million engagement ring from Kanye West. 10 people are on trial. 5 face life in prison for armed robbery and kidnapping. Kardashian said, "I absolutely thought I was going to die." The new pope is making peace his mission. U.S.-born Pope Leo XIV, just a week into the job, says he's ready to mediate in global conflicts and is offering the Vatican as neutral ground for dialogue. Speaking to the Eastern Catholic leaders on Wednesday, Leo said war is never inevitable and that weapons must be silenced. He's already spoken with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, offering to help facilitate peace talks, and is calling for ceasefires in Gaza, Ukraine, and between India and Pakistan. And there's good news at American grocery stores as egg prices are finally cracking. U.S. retail egg prices dropped in April to $5.12 a dozen, down from a record $6.23 in March. That's the biggest monthly dip since 1984, according to new government data. But prices still nearly 80% higher than a year ago, largely due to a deadly bird flu outbreak that's wiped out over 169 million birds. The U.S. is now importing more eggs and investing $1 billion to boost farm biosecurity. Meanwhile, the Justice Department says it's investigating top producer Cal-Maine Foods for possible price manipulation. And Ford is recalling nearly 274,000 SUVs, including popular Expedition and Lincoln Navigator models, because of a brake issue that could raise the risk of a crash. According to federal safety officials, the front brake lines in some 2022 to 2024 models may have been installed incorrectly, putting them in contact with engine parts and possibly causing leaks or even brake failure. So far, Ford says it's gotten 45 reports of leaking brake lines, but no crashes or injuries. Still, the company asking drivers to bring affected vehicles in for a free inspection and repairs. If you're not sure if your SUV is impacted, you can check using your VIN number on Ford's recall site or through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 14th. Then in our news at 7:30, after nearly 7 years and $64 million later, the long-awaited sale of Grand Lucayan finally within reach. The Davis administration set to sign on the dotted line tomorrow. The Deputy Prime Minister shares his optimism. And a new volunteer fire brigade is in the works in Exuma as government moves to secure up to 25 fire trucks for family islands. The story when our news returns.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Candino Nodes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust. this day in Bahamian history in 1926. Maureen Duvalier, a Bahamian singer, entertainer, and cultural icon, was born in Nassau. Influenced by her godparents' musical background, she defied societal norms to pursue her passion for performance, becoming known for leading the first all-female Junkanoo group on Bay Street. Duvalier showcased her talents internationally, representing her country in the United States and Canada. She continued performing well into her later years, passing away on December 19, 2014, at the age of 88. And on the same day in 1972, John Warburton Paul assumed the role of Governor of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, later becoming the first Governor General after the country gained independence on July 10, 1973. He served until the end of the month when Milo Butler took office. All right, Caribbean Bottling Company and the University of the Bahamas have joined forces to create the Coca-Cola Art Project, celebrating Bahamian musical legends. Part of that initiative includes CBC donating $10,000 to UB's art program. The project, also a competition which will judge the students' interpretation of the theme which surrounds celebrating Bahamian musicians. The competition, which closes on June 2nd, will be judged by a panel of representatives from the company, from CBC, University of Bahamas, Bahamar, local artists, and musicians. In addition to the 4 winners, 20 pieces will be chosen to be featured in an exhibit at Bahamar's The Current Art Gallery's Echo Museum on August 15th. You want to learn more about that or to watch any of today's top stories, be sure and visit rnews.bs and share your favorites right from the R News Bahamas Facebook page. Going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Megan Shepherd. She's up with the latest headlines. Happy Hump Day, Megan.
Happy Hump Day, halfway through the work week.
Thank God.
Thank God. All right, well, a judge orders parenting class for a father who hit his 8-year-old child. Plus, we'll tell you UB's union's call for transparency. Here are your latest headlines. Tonight on our news, all eyes are on Grand Bahama. Our Italia Hall is on the ground as Carnival gears up to officially open Celebration Key. She'll tell you how the project is already making an economic impact. Plus, long-awaited and much anticipated. Parliamentarians, including the Prime Minister, weighing on tomorrow's HOA signing for Grand Bahama's anchor property. Their overall sentiments? Optimism. And making it a community effort. Area Member of Parliament for the Exumas calling on residents to be a part of a newly launched volunteer fire brigade. And later, the union representing tertiary educators is slamming UB for their latest appointment. Our Delvado Emmanuel gets the first-hand concerns from the union's president. The details on these stories and more when our news returns.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucaya solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as NT Corporation shines brighter than ever. NT Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-177.
Welcome to our news and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. A major boost is on the horizon for Grand Bahama as Carnival gears up to officially open Celebration Key. The project is already creating hundreds of jobs and breathing new life into the local economy. Over the next week, in a special series sponsored by Carnival, you'll hear from our anchor, Italia Hall, who traveled to our hometown to speak with the team. Tonight, she begins with Carnival's top executives and their long-term commitment to the island.
Yes, Megan, I am here in Grand Bahama, and this story, I just want to say, is personal to me because, as we know, I was raised here on this island, so did you. And so we've seen those days from the Magic City to seeing jobs becoming scarce. And so I spoke with Carnival officials today who say that they are dedicated to this project, and it's not just a project for them, it's a promise they plan to keep.
I love my country, but I'm a Grand Bahamian through and through, and my main concern with my people have to benefit from this project.
It's a multi-million-dollar promise taking shape on Grand Bahama, and local hands are leading the charge. Carnival Celebration Key is a site many thought they'd never see real work, real progress, and real hope. And now the project is nearing its finish line. General Manager Amanda Phelps reflects on the company's journey, while Director of Destinations Michelle McGregor says she's been inspired by the Bahamians she's met.
This project is happening, and we're going to be, just our team is going to be almost 500 strong.
It's incredible to see how we were able to fill all these positions with Bahamians, and like 75%, something like this, of Grand Bahamians.
After years of setbacks, from Hurricane Dorian to the COVID-19 pandemic, many say this moment is long overdue. Senior Vice President of Government and Destination Affairs, Marie McKenzie, has been with the project from the very beginning.
And when I heard Carnival say, we're committed, and the first thing that came out of the lead developer's mouth was, we just got to go 15 feet higher.
The cruise port promises not only jobs, but long-term impact. And the women leading that charge include Tamara Lightbourne, Director of Human Resources, and Lurleen Barrows-Moss, Controller.
It's about seeing the results of what we have already started to put together. Obviously, seeing how we can make improvements.
Celebration Key in itself is new, and so I've been involved in the whole setup of the department.
The hiring boom is also bringing people back home. Vice President of Destination Operations Juan Fernandez shares a story that's becoming more common.
Brandon Colmer, who's our Assistant General Manager, had been working in NASA for quite a long time and now has an opportunity to bring his family back home.
Director of Engineering David Starr tells another powerful story of a Grand Bahamian man who returned.
He looked me straight in the eye. He says, well, I'm finally at home for Christmas, and it's the first time in 8 years I'll spend Christmas with my family. And that really touched my heart.
For many Grand Bahamians, this is a start of a new chapter. And for Filcher Grant, who's been a part of the project since day one, for her, it's personal.
This isn't just a role, this is a passion project. This is something that when we look back, we can say, guys, we did this together. We built this together. This is ours. And as much as this is Carnival's project, make no bones about it, this is a Grand Bahama project as well.
Now, Celebration Key is officially expected to open to the public on July 19th, and I can tell you that executives say that's just the beginning. Reporting live in Grand Bahama for our news, I'm Italia Hall. Back to you in the studio, Megan.
Thanks so much, Italia. We definitely look forward to hearing more from you and the team throughout the week. Well, the much-anticipated signing of a heads of agreement for the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort is less than a day away. It comes nearly 7 years after the Minis-led government bought the Grand Bahamian Resort for $64 million in 2018. Now, the Davis administration plans on signing a heads of agreement with Concord Wilshire, a United States-based real estate and resort development company. Prime Minister Philip Davis and Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper told reporters outside the House of Assembly today that they're optimistic.
Tell us how you feel about tomorrow.
Great, excellent. I think this has been a work in progress, and I am thankful to the many employees who lived through the uncertainty. I'm thankful to the board who had steady hands through the process. Yes, we had been spending to the tune of $1.2 million a month. Grand Lucayan is a necessary plank in the ecosystem of tourism for Grand Bahama. Not in addition to the employees who remained, it helped the surrounding area, and therefore indirect employment would have received a boost.
Central Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Aaron Lewis says he's also excited about the signing, but says equal focus needs to be placed on the Grand Bahama International Airport.
I'm not sure. I believe it would have been a good marriage to have both together, but I'll have to wait for the details of the heads of agreement to ensure it, but at least to then have a positive feedback. There may be something in the making right now for the airport, and they probably don't want to step ahead of whatever the pace that they should be on with respect to the airport deal. But yeah, the two should go together. Having a big hotel with not a proper airlift is not in the best interest of the investor, and I'm sure something must be in the making to ensure that the airport is also up and running.
On the heels of multiple wildfires across multiple islands, some impacting and displacing families, Deputy Prime Minister and Exuma's and Ragged Island MP Chester Cooper is inviting area residents to step up as they look to launch a volunteer fire brigade. It comes as government commits to securing 15 to 25 fire trucks for the islands. It wouldn't be the first volunteer fire services in the country. As wildfires burned miles of forest in Abaco, it was the volunteer fire services crew that spent the night fighting the blaze. Residents were set to undergo training and enrollment today. Cooper says it's another step to beefing up resources.
We are in the process of increasing the amount of fire equipment that we have all across the island of Exuma, and we will have more to say about this. But, Madam Speaker, we are advancing the initiatives to be able to help ourselves in this process through all of the communities all across the island. And I invite the people of Exuma to join us this afternoon at 4 p.m. to participate in enrollment and some training for the Exuma Volunteer Fire Brigade.
Well, St. Anne's Member of Parliament Adrian White is dismissing rumors that Free National Movement Chairman Dwayne Sands has plans to swipe his seat in the upcoming general election. Rumors have circulated online that Sands would be nominated for the seat, while former FNM member Shivago Lang would be returning to the party to contest the Central Grand Bahama seat. White says while he would welcome Lang's return if the rumors are true, when it comes to his seat, he chalks it up to just rumors.
It's all political mischief. I'm going to run as the FNM candidate in St. Anne's. We are still waiting for the candidate selection process to be completed, but I'm a hardcore FNM, always FNM. When you're making an impact against the government, there's going to be people that are stirring the pot, trying to create dissent, trying to create confusion, but I'm focused. I'm not moved by anybody's attacks, and I'm on course to bringing home a victory for the FNM in the next election.
White has been under fire in recent weeks for his comments in Parliament, where he said only sensible people vote FNM. White has since apologized. But could those controversial remarks affect his chances at re-election?
I don't think so, no. I think it's the same way that it created controversy, it also built some loyalty and more interest. People do want to hear individuals speaking strongly, and I did it in a very respectful manner. It was taken for political purposes in a different light, and I've made a statement on that, so nothing really further that I'm going to say to it, but I'm going to continue to be strong fighting for the Bahamian people to change the government of this country out of the PLP back to the proper FNM.
All right, well, we've still got lots more news to share with you tonight, but first, meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us for your first look at temperatures. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions outside our studios and around the island. 76 is our current temperature under partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 75. Satellite radar composite. Boundary that affected the northwest Bahamas, slowly sagging south of the capital right now. We did get in some showers and thunderstorms here in the capital, as well as in the Andros, Luthra area. Starting to see some of that moving into the Cat Island area, but that frontal boundary will continue to sag towards the south and weaken. High pressure building in across our area behind that front. We're looking at some nice conditions for the balance of the week, but temperature is expected to get near the 90-degree mark. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still coming.
Still to come on our news, a 28-year-old dad has been ordered to attend parenting classes. This after slapping his 8-year-old daughter for her disobedience. Plus, one union president says they will only support the University of the Bahamas after its leaders show repentance and professionalism. We'll tell you about the latest appointment causing discord. The details right after this break.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Royalty graces the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show with Lady E.
I'm so happy to be here with you. This is you're one of my heroes. You're one of the people who I always watch on TV. I still remember the theme music from Electric Air. So, you know, just being
All my money. You got all my money. All my money. I love her already. Catch the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show this Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show we ain't a lot.
Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of groovin' is here.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
A magistrate has ordered a 28-year-old father who slapped his 8-year-old daughter for being rude to attend parenting classes. The father pleaded guilty to cruelty to children when he appeared before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Evans. The charge stems from an incident that took place on April 20th while the child was spending the weekend with her father and paternal grandmother. The court heard that the child had ignored multiple requests by her dad to pick up her toys. When he confronted her about disobedience, the child rolled her eyes, prompting her dad to slap her. Controversy is brewing at the University of the Bahamas as the union representing faculty accuses administrators of making a key appointment in secret. The Union of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas is slamming the university's decision to assign Vice President Denise Barnes a dual role, calling the move non-transparent. Delvardo Emmanuel sat with the union's president, Daniel Thompson, to discuss the concerns. Here's that report.
I'm calling out this appointment as being egregious because it limits the involvement of my members faculty, academics at the university.
A new appointment at the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus has sparked outrage from the union representing faculty members. UTEB President Daniel Thompson says the university administration has acted without consultation or transparency. He's calling for accountability.
I have sat on interviews for vice presidents, presidents, etc. They are all interviewed. While they are not within the domain of our industrial relations, but what the industrial relation does say is that the university will maintain goodwill, labor goodwill relationships with the union. And this is not goodwill.
Thompson says the university recently announced the vice president of human resources would also serve as the new vice president of UB's Northern Campus. A decision he says lacks due process and professional balance.
They are positioning now a non-academic to replace a role that was previously held by Dr. Ian Strawn, the former vice president there. And you can imagine now you have a non-academic representing a whole campus that was held by a full professor.
Thompson adds that the position has historically been held by academic professionals with terminal degrees, not human resource professionals. He says faculty morale is at an all-time low and that the latest move has only deepened distrust.
There are any number of academics within the institution. We have persons who have been presidents, have been principals of colleges and universities right here at the University of the Bahamas.
When asked what's the next step for the union,
we will continue, UTEB will continue to call out areas of marginalization, areas where transparency is lacking, and where there's no collaboration. We will continue to call it out. And when the university is repentant and decide to be professional in that regard, we will gladly stand in support of their actions.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Dervado Emmanuel.
Coming up in sports, we take a look at the results of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers draw, a pair of Bahamians plan to team up in college hoops, and more soccer news both on and off the pitch. When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the Live Fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store.
Welcome to R Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. We've got a definitive look at the path for Team Bahamas as the road to Qatar gets underway this fall. In the Americas group, Team Bahamas is drawn into Group B alongside Canada, Puerto Rico, and the second place team from the North American pre-qualifiers. The Bahamas has participated in every edition of the World Cup qualifiers since the start of the tournament in 2017. During the last qualifying cycle, the program advanced to the second round for the first time and finished with a 3-9 record overall. Now, we all remember that the Bahamas fell one game short of the Olympics last summer in Valencia, Spain. Well, this is the start of the next Olympic qualification process. 7 teams from the Americas region will qualify for the World Cup, and the top 2 teams from that group, excluding the USA, will advance to the LA Olympics. The other teams will be relegated to a pre-Olympic qualifier, which we want to avoid. 2 of the country's top basketball prospects will join forces in South Florida for the next stop on their college hoops journeys. Danica Lightbourne made her decision to close out her time in the transfer portal and decided to join the Florida International University Panthers in Conference USA. Lightbourne spent her first 2 seasons of college hoops with the Dayton Flyers. As a freshman, the 5'9" guard appeared in 29 games, started 12, and averaged 2.4 points and 1.2 rebounds in just over 10 minutes per game. As a sophomore, her role diminished, appearing in just 15 games without any starts and playing just under 5 minutes per game. She joins the Panthers squad that finished 11-19 overall, 7-11 in the conference under head coach Jessica Burks-Wiley. Fellow national team member Rima Collins, a 6'2" forward, also joined the Panthers this offseason after transferring from Ole Miss. The Bahamas Football Association hosted the region's top official in the sport as a part of his organization's community outreach. CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani was in the Bahamas last week as a part of his regional outreach ahead of the upcoming FIFA Congress. Montagliani met with BFA President Anya James, General Secretary Fred Lunn, and the BFA Council to discuss strategic plans for football development, regional collaboration, and future hosting opportunities across the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean. The visit also included a meeting with Youth Sports and Culture Minister Mario Boleg, where they discussed enhancing football infrastructure and creating further pathways for youth and elite players throughout the Bahamas. Locally, anticipation continues to build for the Samuel P. Haven High School Nationals, and the top teams in the country prepare to take the pitch. The bragging rights and national title hopes are up for grabs, and schools throughout the country and in their respective divisions are already looking forward to hoisting the trophies. Looking back at the 2024 tournament, in senior girls play, the Life-Wiki Dragons are the defending champs after they defeated the St. Andrews Hurricanes. In senior boys, Windsor School won the title in their tournament debut in thrilling fashion over Anatole Rogers on penalties.
We are looking forward to a great competition, and yes, we love the public school, but we want to retain the championship in BISS, so we are looking forward to this great competition.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Okay, World Cup qualifiers are coming up. That means somewhere out there, someone is filming the montage, going city to city, getting the team together. What y'all think John doing right now? Back to the studio.
On the other side of this break, Greg is back in the Weather Center with a complete look at temperatures across the country. Stick with us.
Get ready to shop till you drop. The Vitamalt shopping spree is back, and you could be the next winner of a $500 shopping spree. Here's how to enter. Buy a 6-pack of ginger, acai, or coconut and hibiscus Vitamalt from any Super Value or 700 Wines and Spirits location. Snap a picture of your receipt and WhatsApp your name and photo of the receipt to 825-2191. This promotion ends Saturday, April 19th. Will you be the next lucky shopper? Vitamalt. Vitalize naturally.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Strucum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Strucum, #1 in pest control services.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
Royalty graces the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show with Lady E,
I'm so happy to be here with you. You're one of my heroes. You're one of the people who I always watch on TV. I still remember the theme music from Electric Air. So, just being
All my
here.
money. You got all my money. All my money. I love her already. Catch the next episode of The Charlie Bahama Show this Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee Show with Ian Dallard.
Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's The Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of grooving is here.
This is our news. Welcome back. Boundary that moves through the northwest Bahamas, still flaring up some showers and thunderstorms just to the south of the capital. We got some of that action earlier today across here and in the Andros and Eleuthera area, some thunderstorms. So we had some severe thunderstorm warnings issued earlier as well. But that boundary will continue to sag towards the southeast, should weaken as it pushes towards that area, moving into central Bahamas overnight and then weakening across the southeast Bahamas. A dry air mass will be building in behind that, and we're looking for some very nice conditions over the next couple of days. And temperatures will be getting near the 90-degree mark. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that boundary dropping into the central Bahamas, weakening, and of course most of the activity pulling out there in the open Atlantic through Thursday. And behind that, dry conditions expected. Not much in terms of any rainfall, but we are looking at summer-like temperatures for the balance of the week. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow, southeast to south winds 10 knots. They will fall light and variable at times, seas running 2 to 3 feet over the open waters. High tide is at 10 p.m. tonight. The low tide takes place at 4:32 in the morning for the southeast Bahamas. And east to south easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots expected, seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, just beautiful weather here in the capital and in the northwest Bahamas. Some showers and isolated thunderstorms possible in the central and southeastern islands, but that front expected to weaken. And of course, as I mentioned, we will start to see those temperatures rising into the mid to upper 80s, and then we're looking at 90s beginning next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Definitely looking forward to a sunny day tomorrow. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a safe and wonderful evening.